Hello, beautiful people. Today is 11th of October. My name is Sahil, and welcome to the Hindu newspaper analysis. Now, guys, first of all, let's have a look on today's GS folder. So, today we will take a quote from the Fumzile Imblambo, the executive director of the United Nations Women. She says, there is no great force for change, for peace, for justice and democracy, for inclusive economic growth than a world of empowered women. So, guys, empowered women or the empowered gender is the thing that we need today to carry forward the inclusive growth, sustainable growth, as well as to dispel with the perils of the social injustices. Even, guys, the former IMF chief Christine Lagarde also had said that if the women are included into the paid labor force onto the level of the men, then the global economy or basically can increase twice of the present level. So, guys, this particular quote we can utilize in GS paper number 2 into the topics of women, and guys, even into the social justice we can utilize this particular thing. So, guys, that's it for today's GS folder, and now let's take the newspaper analysis. Now, guys, first of all, let's take the overview of the entire newspaper first. Guys, today is the Sunday, so there will be no editorial, as editorial doesn't comes onto the Sunday. Now, guys, one information, if you don't know, every day I provide the PDF notes of all the articles that we discuss into the newspaper. Moreover, the infographic or the pictographic things also that I am using here, I provide there into the PDF, so you can download them by joining our Telegram channel. The link has been provided into the description box below. Now, guys, first news article, it pertains to the Mulipalayar dam controversy. So we'll see that what exactly is there, and with respect to the mapping also we will see the important information here. Then, guys, moving forward here, some winged infiltrators have been mentioned. So see, these species will be seeing with respect to the environment and ecology. Then, guys, moving forward, now, guys, into the regional section, much of the news is not there important. Now, guys, here just as an example for ethics GS paper number 4, you can see that some of the people working at the graveyard workers, they spent their own money to give a dignified burial to a person or to an unidentified person, a homeless person who died of COVID-19, and there was nobody to claim his body. 13 days after his death, he was given a dignified burial. So, guys, this particular thing shows that the money or the wealth is not a parameter to see whether a person will follow the compassion and empathy, and even the people with less resources can also act as an exemplar examples to uphold the dignity of a human being. So, guys, that is. Then, guys, moving forward, so classified page, nothing important for our exam. Now, guys, here we can see that the community based mental health services have been talked about. So, guys, yesterday the mental health day was there, so in that particular capacity we'll see this thing. Then, guys, moving forward here, some of the species of the flamingos have been mentioned. So with respect to the ecology environment, we'll see this thing. Then, guys, moving forward, then the rising number of cases not we need to see. Then, guys, here we can see that the Ministry of Home Affairs had issued a standard operating procedures with respect to the crime against women. So with respect to GS2, we'll see this entire issue. Then, guys, moving forward, political news you don't need to see. Then, guys, here you can see that the North Korea has displayed the intercontinental ballistic missiles. And, guys, basically North Korea, it is in habit of doing all these kind of things. We don't need to see the technology behind that particular thing, but it is a very lethal kind of weapon. However, much of the news are not there out into the mainstream media. So, guys, just that's it. Then, guys, moving forward, here we can see that the Reserve Bank of India had appealed to Supreme Court with respect to the NPA. We'll see this matter. Then, guys, moving forward, now here onto the science and tech page, guys, we can see that the plant versus virus has been mentioned. So, guys, this you can call this as a virus warfare against the plant. So, guys, in this particular respect, the UPSC relevant information will be seen. Then, guys, many times I have told you that the findings with respect to the COVID-19, you don't need to see that because every day these new things are coming to the fore and all the things are being discarded, and as this is a developing development, you can ignore it. Then, guys, this particular article talks about the how the spiders migrate. Guys, not actually very much relevant. Then, guys, the FAQ page, this particular page is today mentioning about the Nobel Prize that has been given into the last week. However, already into the last week we had covered them, you might have seen. Otherwise, you can follow the last week's newspaper discussion. Then, guys, this particular page mentions about the sports news, IPL news, not relevant for our exam. So that's it. And now let's take the newspaper analysis. Now, guys, taking up the first news article. So, into this particular article, two species have been mentioned, and as we had seen into the UPSC exam, that the question on species have been asked into the prelims. So, we will be seeing that. Now, guys, this particular news item will be important for GS paper number 3 environment as well as for the prelims section. Now, guys, what has happened? Actually, two of the species, one from Pakistan and one from China, had registered into the India, and now seeing their patterns of migration into the India, we are now classifying them that the Indian species. Now, guys, the two of the species which have been mentioned here, the first is the Spilea zebra. Now, the Spilea zebra, it is a type of a butterfly, and guys, please be very careful that the names of butterfly are very strange. So into the exam, UPSC can give you such option. For example, the butterflies have been called as peacock, they have been called as Indian Nawab, there are the butterflies whose name are derived from the leopard and all these kind of things. So guys, always butterflies name are very strange. Here you can also said that the name of butterfly is Spilea zebra. Now this particular butterfly has been recorded into the Rajasthan, and originally this butterfly is from the POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir region, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, as well as into the Punjab of the Pakistan. This butterfly is found. Now into the Rajasthan, guys, this particular butterfly has been found, and it has now been added into the Rajasthan orchid belt. Now Rajasthan's orchid belt is a region which includes the Fulwari Kinal Wildlife Sanctuary as well as the Sita Mata Wildlife Sanctuary. So guys, these particular wildlife sanctuaries constitute the Rajasthan's orchid belt. Please do keep it in your mind. Now guys, the next species which has been noted here, it is the dragonfly Astrotothamis rilsi. Now this particular dragonfly, it is from China, Guizhou, and it has been recorded into the Namdapha Tiger Reserve into the Arunachal Pradesh. So guys, these are the two species. One is of butterfly and one is of dragonfly. However, much more deeper into the details you need not to go, because there are thousands of butterflies and dragonflies. Just please keep it in your mind, and if such kind of a name comes, just please have in mind that what they are, whether they are a dragonfly or a butterfly or a lizard. So in 2020 prelims exam also, we had seen that 3-4 names were given, and it was asked that whether they are the bird or they are the amphibians or they are the reptiles. So the questions are very broad based into the UPSC. You might have also seen it. So guys, that's all about this particular news article, and now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article talks about the Mule Periyar Dam panel. Now this particular news item is not getting any stuff, but guys, the issues associated around to it are very important for our UPSC exam. Now, first of all, as we are talking about this Mule Periyar Dam, so with respect to the mapping or geography, Indian geography, we will see certain facts. First of all, guys, Mule Periyar Dam, always you'll be finding it that it is located onto the Periyar river, but actually it is located onto the confluence of two rivers, that is the Mulayar river and the Periyar river, but often it is written as the Periyar river because Periyar is more dominant river. Fine guys. Second thing, this particular Periyar river is in Kerala, and the Mule Periyar Dam is also into the Kerala. Fine guys, but this dam is in Kerala, but it is administered by the Tamil Nadu. Please keep that thing into your mind. Secondly, guys, this dam is located around the Periyar National Park, as well as it is located onto the Cardamom Hills into the Western Ghats. So often in UPSC, not only the location of a particular thing is asked, but surrounding important locations are also asked. So on Cardamom Hills, around Periyar National Park, onto the Periyar River. Fine guys. Now, as we are talking about this Mule Periyar Dam, I told you it is operated by Tamil Nadu. Now guys, there are certain issues with respect to this particular dam. Now the issue is this, that this particular dam is very old. It is more than 100-year old, and Kerala had often flagged about the sustainability of this particular dam. Now guys, if you see the picture here onto the screen, you can see that this particular dam is made by the rubble stone masonry technique. Now, rubble stone masonry technique is this particular where the irregular slabs of stone, they are fixed together and they are joined with the lime. Now guys, this particular technology of making the walls have now been turned obsolete. Moreover, if here you pay the attention, you can see that the joints are filled with the lime. And guys, if lime stays in contact with water for a very long time, then with the passage of time it erodes, and now more than 100 years have been there. So guys, it has been said that now it is not the strong enough, and the region where this Mule Parayar dam is situated is it is a seismically active region. It means that the earthquakes are not that much rare here. They are often, the earthquakes can come, and it has been said by the Kerala that if the earthquake of more than 6 Richter scale is recorded here, then this particular dam will not be able to withstand the water. On to that particular thing, often even the Tamil Nadu had decided that okay, we will lower the level of water, and repeatedly the water level has been lowered into this particular dam. Now guys, in 2014, I tell you, the Supreme Court said that you need to constitute a supervisory committee onto this particular dam, who from time to time can inspect the dam, can take the samples of the water, can see whether the dam is not posing any danger and all that kind of thing. So that thing was being carried. Now guys, what has happened, the Kerala government had again said that the Tamil Nadu government is not doing much to see whether the dam is safe or not. The supervisory committee, which was constituted in 2014, it is actively not doing the work. Rather, this supervisory committee has delegated the work to a smaller sub-level committee, and that particular committee might not be doing the work efficiently. So for that particular thing, Kerala had flagged this particular issue. Now the Tamil Nadu government had defended and had said that there is no problem, the subcommittee is doing the work fine. The subcommittee is only there because so much of inspection, so much of analysis has to be done, and that is actually the ground committee which is working. Now guys, these technical step-by-step details are not that much important, but you need to understand into the greater scope of the things that guys, this particular thing is a federal dispute between one state and the other state over the sustainability of the dam. Now guys, often the disputes between the different states have been there with respect to the river water. And guys, into this particular thing, even the article number 262 of Indian Constitution has said that the water disputes will be resolved. Fine guys, for that resolving of the water disputes, there will be the water tribunals which will be made. Moreover guys, as we are talking about this particular thing, obviously if any matter of the federal disputes come, this for example, this is a dam matter. If any matter comes, the states can directly approach the Supreme Court. And which type of jurisdiction Supreme Court has into these particular matters? Supreme Court has original and exclusive jurisdiction. Exclusive jurisdiction means that the matters will only go to the Supreme Court. Original means that directly matters can go to the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court has a jurisdiction. Therefore, in 2014, the Supreme Court only said that the supervisory committee needs to be made. So guys, this is all the issue with respect to this particular thing. And now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article is talking about the species of the flamingos. Fine. So here we will be seeing this particular issue. Now guys, here the lesser flamingos have been mentioned. Now first of all, these lesser flamingos, the pink ones which you can see onto the screen, they have been given the status of the near threatened onto the IUCN red list. Fine guys, now as we are talking about the flamingos, guys, into the world 6 species of extant flamingos are there. Extant means that they are widespread, and out of those 6 species of flamingos, the lesser flamingos which are talked into this particular article, they are the most numerous. In the population wise, they are the most numerous. Secondly, these flamingos are the smallest flamingos also. Fine. Now guys, as we are talking about these lesser flamingos, they are found into their natural habitat into the sub-Saharan Africa as well as the northwest India. But one thing you need to keep it in your mind, that they are the vagrants. what are the vagrants, an important concept for the ecology. Now guys, there are certain animals or birds who are not only found into their natural habitat, but they are also found well beyond their natural habitat. Either they are because migratory or because they are not anyhow limited to one thing. So all those animals which are found beyond that, they are called as the vagrants. So such kind of thing could be asked into the UPSC. Now guys, what happened just on to the 10th of October, the World Migratory Bird Day was celebrated, and onto this World Migratory Bird Day, it was said that the habitat for the flamingos as well as even for the other birds who depend on to the wetland, their habitat has just reduced to 20% when compared to the original habitat. Now guys, their habitat is being shrunk because so much of the urbanization is going on, and as the urbanization goes, the new people who are coming or the city's expansion, it happens onto the wetland. They are eroded, and onto them the housing complexes and other infrastructure is made. Now guys, this particular news article is into the reference of a citizen initiative that has been taken into the Mumbai. Now guys, it has been said that into the Mumbai, Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary is the only refuge or the last habitat of the flamingos into the Maharashtra or Mumbai, and they are solely dependent on them. And into the last few years, due to the development of the real estate, even this particular creek or this particular habitat is shrinking very actively. Now guys, as we have talking about the Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary, guys, it is only second marine sanctuary of the Maharashtra. Other one is the Malwan. So Malwan and Thane Creek, these are two examples of the marine sanctuary of Maharashtra. Now this Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary was earlier also into the news in 2019. Why? Because you might have heard that the government was talking about that bullet train project. So that when that bullet train project was being talked about, that was scheduled to be operated from Ahmedabad to Mumbai, and when it was and into its course, it would be passing from this Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary, and large amount of land was given to that developmental project. It was said that earlier also, because of the development of the JNPT port as well as the sea link into the Mumbai, already their land has been taken, and now again the land is being taken. So guys, government onto the wake of development often ignores the ecology and environment, and we forgot that every species into the ecology has its own important role. It is giving so much of ecological services. Moreover guys, there is a very intricate food chain, there is a very intricate food web, and into that food web every species is playing its own important role, and we need to conserve their ecological habitats. So guys, what you can say, what you can do, if any questions onto the ecological conservation comes, you can use this particular observation which was made onto the World Migratory Day, that their habitat has just remained only 20%. So guys, that's all about this particular issue. Please keep in mind all the factual information that I have given to you, and now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article talks about the community-based mental health services. Fine. Now friends, first of all, yesterday, that is the 10th of October, I had taken two editorials, one from the Hindu newspaper and other from the Times of India. Into the Hindu newspaper, I talked about the mental health. So mental health day was there yesterday, so we have taken already that article. And even into the Times of India, I take an article for the palliative care, though the palliative care article is not specifically for the mental health, but mental health patients are also taken in, are also given a kind of a palliative care if the disease such as the neurological degenerative diseases are there. However guys, anyhow, what I meant to say is that yesterday's article and today this particular article, after this you not need to read anything for the mental health care. Your entire topic of the mental health care within the GS paper number 2 health issues will be completed after this. Now guys, are taking up the issue. Now guys, it has been said that into the present time, 1 out of every 6 people, they are having some kind of a mental health problem, and basically they never report it. The problem is not there, they are not aware or problem is not of awareness. Problem is because of the stigma that is attached with the mental illness. Now guys, first of all, there is a stigma, and that particular stigma leads to discrimination. What is the difference between the stigma and discrimination? Stigma is an attitude. Okay guys, attitude is our likingness or dislikingness or simply an indifference towards an attitude object. Now the stigma is a negative attitude. So guys, if a person is having a mental illness, the people will look him as lunatic, as insane, and will avoid him. Fine, will not like to keep any interactions with him. So this is a stigma, an attitude, and a kind of a negative attitude. And then comes the discrimination. Discrimination is a behavior. What is behavior? If I tend to give an opportunity to two people, and if one of them is having some mental illness, I will avoid him. This is the discrimination. So there's stigma and discrimination comes. Now guys, because of this particular thing, what happens? The life of these people becomes miserable. And now this stigma and discrimination is all not only being perpetuated because the people or the society are ignorant, rather this particular thing is also being upheld by the laws. I can give you the example. Now guys, we have the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, we have the Special Marriage Act of 1956. Now within these both the marriage acts, it has been said that the mental illness could be taken as a ground for divorce. Fine. Now you always say that the mental illness is just a health problem. So if mental illness is just a health problem, when other health problems are not being taken as a ground for divorce, why mental illness is being taken as a ground for divorce? Guys, if I tell you, even the HIV, AIDS is also not a ground for divorce, only mental health illness is a ground for divorce. So government also is perpetuating that mental illness or mentally ill people are undesirable, socially less important kind of people. After that guys, if I give you one more example, then into the Representation of People Act 1951, it has been said that if a person is of unsound mind, he could be denied voting. Now guys, unsound mind has only been interpreted to be a mental illness. So guys, you are not only making them socially undesirable, you are also taking their political rights. So this particular understanding or this particular attitude is not desired into a welfareist inclusive democracy. So guys, it has been said that mental health illness is needed to be looked into a broader context, and much more sensitively we need to look into this particular matter. So what could be the way forward into this particular thing? Now guys, first of all, we need to build the community care centers rather than the mental asylums. So you might have seen that mental asylums where these people are kept into very inhumane kind of situations. That is not the need. Rather, community should come together and everybody should give its fair share into the taking care of these kind of people. Moreover, the community care centers need to be built around the neighborhood so that the people who are facing the mental health crisis, they can stay within the society. Moreover, government also needs to give adequate funding to these community care centers. Now guys, if I tell you, only first of all, our health budget is very less. Right now 1.3% of our GDP is going towards the public health. Even into that, okay, if we consider that 1.3 as 100% for that health, even within that 1.3%, 1% is going for the mental health. So you can see that so much less money is being given for the mental health. And guys, mental illness constitute around 8 to 10% of the total health burden. So neither the resources are not there, nor the finances are there, society is not with them. So guys, government need to recognize this particular thing very actively. And as we are right now seeing the pandemic, so into the coming times, the miseries or basically mental illness because of the depression, isolation, these things will be increasing even more further. So active steps are needed to be taken into this particular direction. So guys, this is all about this particular article, and now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article talks about the issue of the women, GS paper number 2. Now we had seen that the rape incident happened into the Hathras, and after that rape incident there was the countrywide rage. So now guys, what has happened? The Ministry of Home Affairs had released an SOP, that is the standard operating procedure. So the standard operating procedure is a kind of a guideline or a step-by-step thing that what is to be done when a crime is committed against the women. So now guys, first of all, they had said that into such kind of things there needs to be a compulsory registration of a FIR, that is the first information report. Now many a times what happens, guys, the police stations, they don't file an FIR saying that the crime has not been committed into their jurisdiction or into their territory. So for that particular thing, there is a concept of the zero FIR. Zero FIR means that irrespective of the place where the crime has been committed, you can lodge anywhere the zero FIR. So it has been said that they can't be denied and a zero FIR needs to be lodged the moment it is realized that the crime has been committed. Now guys, the second thing which has been said here is that there needs to be the collection of evidence for the forensic examination, and this particular collection needs to be very much fast. Now guys, it has been said into the Hathras case that the forensic samples were not collected for so many days, and finally when they were collected, obviously they were not representative of the the heinous crime which was committed. After that guys, it has been said that into the sexual assault type of cases, there needs to be use of sexual assault evidence collection kit. Now sexual assault evidence collection kit is a scientifically designed kit which can take the samples without disturbing their sanctity. After that guys, the fourth step is that all the completion of investigation or by the police into the sexual assault related cases, that investigation needs to be completed within a strict time frame of 2 months. After that guys, it has been said that the moment a crime has been committed, the national database of sexual offenders as well as for the repeated offenders needs to be accessed, and it needs to be seen that who could be the people who might have committed the crime. Now guys, as we are talking about these particular provisions, there are certain sections also which have been mentioned. First of all, the section 173 of the CRPC. Now section 173 of CRPC already provides a 2-month window, so that particular section you can utilize. Now moreover guys, see, it has often been seen that many a times the police personnel, they don't file the FIR cases into the sexual offences case. So guys, on to that particular thing, it has been said that the section 166 of the IPC clearly provides that there is the provision of punishment if a public servant fails to register the FIR for the cognizable offences including the sexual assault. So it has been said that all the police personnel, they should be sensitized that not filing an FIR is a kind of an offense and they should file it. Now guys, it has been said that the state government should also make up an investigation tracking system for sexual offences. Now this will be a kind of a digital system where the state government can monitor that how many cases of the sexual assault are there into their state, and they can monitor that where the progress is going on, where the investigation has been completed, within what time it has been completed, so that they can take the steps so that the entire process becomes very much fast. Now guys, as into the GS paper number 2, the vulnerable sections have been talked about. Into the vulnerable sections, the women comes when they face this particular kind of sexual assault, physical assault, all these kind of things. So guys, if there a question comes, all these SOPs will be acting as a ready-made answer for you. So please do keep it in your mind, and please write it if a question comes there. So guys, that's all about this particular article. Now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article is talking about the recent appeal that has been made by Reserve Bank of India to the Supreme Court with respect to the NPA, non-performing account classification. Now first of all guys, this article is very generalistic, nothing very specific information has been given. See, what happened as the lockdown started, after the lockdown, into this aftermath of lockdown, the Reserve Bank of India said that the people who had taken a loan, to them a moratorium needs to be given by the respective banks. That is, they are not required to pay their installments. Now guys, as the moratorium period has already been completed, now there are borrowers who are saying that even till now our income or our revenue sources has not been restored. Even now also we can't pay our money. For that particular thing, an appeal or a PIL was made to the Supreme Court. Now guys, the Supreme Court had basically ruled this thing that the banks, they can't classify the people who are not able to pay as the non-performing assets. Their account can't be classified as the non-performing assets. Now the Reserve Bank of India had appealed that this particular thing will be having a bad impact. It has been said that the basically credit forbearance, or basically the culture of repayment will be disturbed by this particular thing. And guys, if they have not paid money for so many months, and even if they will not pay money now, altogether they will not be paying any kind of money. So they had requested the Supreme Court that they allow the bank as well as RBI to this on to this particular NPA classification. Moreover, guys, it has been said that by the virtue of the RBI Act 1934, by the Banking Regulation Act of 1949, already the entire power with respect to the banking sector has been given to the RBI. So as the Supreme Court is interfering into that, the RBI's jurisdiction is also getting reduced. So the request has been made to the Supreme Court by the RBI. However, guys, into this particular thing, just into couple of days, Supreme Court will be making its final observation. So then we will be looking this particular article into the more detail, that actually what has happened. Still now it is into the court of the Supreme Court, and it is about to give the final jurisdiction. So guys, only that particular kind of thing has been mentioned into this particular article, not something very specific. So that's it. Now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article pertains to our science and tech section of GS paper number 3. Now guys, here the biological, plant, virus, race or combat has been mentioned. First of all, guys, into this particular article, the step by step fighting mechanism between the plant and the virus has been explained. That step by step thing we don't need to see, because guys, this is only one plant and one virus, and you know that there are thousands and lakhs and millions of plants and virus. Everybody's combat mechanism we can't see. So all the important things with respect to the UPSC exam only you need to see, because guys, what happens many times, student, they are not able to understand that within science and tech what is important and what is not important. You need to understand that in science and tech, the questions with respect to the broad themes, you need to keep it in your mind. Fine guys, so into that particular perspective we'll be seeing this entire news. Now guys, what happens, the virus and plants, they are at constant battle with each other. The virus, it is constantly trying to invade the plant and to destroy the plant, and the plant is constantly adapting itself and finding the ways to defeat that particular virus. Now guys, this particular news is this news is with respect to one study which has been made by the here you can see biological science by the National Center for Biological Sciences. So guys, here they have taken one particular sample, that is the Cinderella yellow vein clearing virus they had taken, and one particular plant they have taken, that is Cinderella nodiflora. So within this virus and within this plant, a constant battle goes on. Now guys, what they had done, they had seen their fighting mechanism and had basically known how the process goes on. So just to brief you, I'll tell. First of all, the virus, it attacks the plant. When it attacks the plant, the virus clears the veins of the plant. Because the veins of the plant are cleared, the plant becomes something like this yellow. And by clearing that veins, the virus can basically infect the plant into more effective way. Now guys, plant will counterattack the virus. How plant will counterattack the virus? Plant knows that the virus is dependent onto one particular protein, that is the beta C1, for its existence, and plant will try to inhibit the beta C1 into the virus, and all the sources from where the beta C1 can be derived, it will try to inhibit, so that virus dies automatically. Then guys, virus again counterattacks the plants. It tries to derive the beta C1 type of proteins from the plant ecosystem. So guys, this particular fighting, counterattack, attack goes on. This thing has only been mentioned into this particular article, and this step-by-step thing is not that much required, because such core zoology or botany type of questions have not been asked into our UPSC exam. Now guys, what is important then? First of all, the Cinderella yellow vein clearing virus, which has been talked, this particular virus belongs to the Begemoviruses family. Now, the Begemovirus, these are the group of viruses which infect very valuable, economically valuable plants, for example, the plants of tobacco. So, please keep it in mind, if this Begemovirus comes, these are the families of virus which impact the economically viable or economically important plants. Moreover guys, this Cinderella yellow vein clearing virus, it also belongs to the category of the Gemini virus. Now Gemini virus, it has more than 400 viruses. These are the viruses which are relatively very small. So now guys, when we talk about the size of viruses, the viruses they range from 5 nanometer to 300 nanometer. This particular virus, that is a Cinderella virus which has been talked, it is just 20 nanometer into a size. It is a comparatively very smaller kind of virus. If you compare this particular virus to the SARS-CoV-2 virus, that is the virus of the coronavirus, then this particular virus is of 100 nanometer size. So guys, these are some of the things on which some kind of a fact based prelims question can be asked. For example, they can ask that the Bejimo virus is often seen into the news. These Bejimo virus are the viruses which ABCD, they impact economically viable plants, they impact the human beings. These kind of things could be there. Secondly, the Gemini viruses are small viruses. So that's the important thing with respect to the UPSC, which you have to see this thing. Guys, I'm strictly saying that which protein is being secreted, which peptide is being secreted, you can't do that thing, and you are not required to do that thing also. So guys, that's all about this particular news article, and now we'll go to the question section. Guys, please pause the video and try to answer the question. Question number 1 is with respect to the graded response action plan. Please read the statement and identify the incorrect code. Question number 2 is with respect to the television rating points. Please read the statement and identify the correct code. Question number 3 is with respect to the South Asia Economic Focus Report. Please read the statement and identify the right options. Now guys, in question number 4, please identify the right pairs. So guys, that's all about the today's newspaper analysis. I hope you are liking our discussion. Thank you so much.